What's up guys, welcome back to my weekly countdown series. Last week we had the must-own Mark II weapons in Grand Theft Auto 5, and this week we're taking a look at the must-own air vehicles in GTA Online. Also, if you guys are wondering if I'm wearing the same t-shirt from last week, yes I am. As always, if you guys could take a few seconds to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you are new, and let's get right into this. In this list I'll be including the must-own air vehicles for day-to-day use, for practicality, the best ones for dogfighting, and just in general the best all-round planes and helicopters that are fun to use and just great in general. And especially since the recent Hydra nerf, there's definitely some new planes in town to take a look at. Up first is the Avenger. This one will set you back about 3.5 million to 4.7 million depending on the upgrades you get, and this one was added as part of the Doomsday update. It's currently on discount as I'm recording this, so if you don't already have one, it's a pretty good opportunity to get one. Now this is not only a highly practical vehicle, but also a moving powerhouse. It can hold up to 5 players, so the pilot, a passenger, and 3 gunners, so if you have enough friends you can pretty much be unstoppable with this thing. Unfortunately, I don't have that many. It basically acts as a flying mobile operations center where you can buy both a vehicle workshop for about 750k and also a weapon workshop for 250k. So if you don't already have an MOC with those workshops, it's probably a good idea to get them. You can customize the Avenger with a selection of different armor, engine, liveries, bombs, and gun turrets. While flying the Avenger, you can also turn on autopilot mode, which means you can hop back into the back of it and use the weapons, so even if you're a solo player you can still make use of the Avenger's weapons. And these weapons are just absolute beasts. As you'll see in the gameplay, you can quickly switch between seats in the Avenger, and if you have any moving targets you can easily keep track of them around you and swiftly blow them out of the sky. With such a big vehicle, it's not the most nimble of aircraft, so it can be a little bit slow at taking off and also landing, making you a little bit vulnerable at those moments. But once you're up to top speed, this thing can actually fly quite quickly. It has 2 different flying modes, so a normal mode with front-facing propellers, and also a VTOL mode, which you can switch to by just hitting right on the D-pad, and the propellers will go vertical, allowing you to land. One of the best things about the Avenger is it doesn't only look like a powerful aircraft, it's also extremely resilient. It can actually take over 20 explosive rounds to take this thing down. So if you were unlucky enough to buy the Bombushka, I'd sell that thing immediately and get yourself an Avenger. At the number 4 spot is this Starling. It's available for about 3.65 million or 2.75 million if you unlock the trade price. The Starling was introduced as part of the Smuggler's Run update and is actually quite an underrated vehicle, so you might be surprised to see it even make this list. It was only after my friend LSG encouraged me to try this vehicle I realised how deadly this thing can be. This is hands down the best bombing plane that you can use in GTA Online, and actually a close second best at dogfighting. I will be showing you the #1 best dogfighting plane later in this video. The Starling is only a one-seated vehicle, so you can't have any of your friends in it, but it does have machine guns, missiles, lock-on missiles, as well as a bomb bay that you can drop a variety of different bomb types, and you can also equip it with countermeasures. Now the best thing about the Starling is the insane rocket boost. You most definitely want to buy the rocket thrust boost upgrade for this. It's definitely worth the extra 200k. The thrust on this thing will slowly replenish if you use it, so you just want to basically use it sparingly during most flights, and it's helpful to have it stocked up, so if you do want to make an extremely fast escape, get yourself out of a tricky situation, if you have any griefers on your tail, you can use this to quickly get out of the way and other aircraft will struggle to keep up. Now although dogfighting isn't the main purpose of the Starling, it can actually be quite effective when you get the handling down. The thruster can give the Starling a very unpredictable acceleration pattern and give you quite an advantage when you're in the sky. I'll also link in the description a video made by a YouTuber called Gillymaster. He did an excellent breakdown of this vehicle, and as you can see from his extensive testing here, the Starling has the fastest acceleration of all of these air vehicles. It has the fastest pitch, which is basically when you do a loop in the air, so you'll be using this a lot for dogfighting to get out of situations. So as you can see, a skilled pilot behind the Starling, the other air vehicles will actually struggle to keep up with your acceleration and movement, but it does require some shooting practice, because I'm not going to lie, this thing takes a lot of practice to be able to shoot well. Moving on to the number 3 spot is the Hunter. You can pick this one up for war stock cash and carry for 4.12 million or 3.1 million if you unlock the trade price. The Hunter was also added as part of the Smuggler's Run update. It's basically a two-person helicopter, allowing a pilot and a gunner to take seats in it. Rockstar definitely took their time in bringing the Hunter to GT Online, however I do think this vehicle is worth the hype. The Hunter is great to handle, it's the fastest helicopter in the game, and it is armed to the teeth. Head to head against another helicopter, the Hunter is going to be pretty hard to beat. As the pilot, you'll get the homing missiles and the option to switch to a rocket barrage that fires 7 rockets at once, and you can quickly switch between these. The Hunter can also make use of the bombs that you can drop from below, which makes for some pretty easy bombing since the Hunter has such a great control. If you have a co-pilot, they'll have access to a mounted chain gun at the bottom, which is absolutely deadly. Any ground targets are going to be easy work here to mop up with a Hunter and a co-pilot. Even tanks or any heavy armoured vehicles on the ground are going to have a very hard time. The Hunter also doesn't disappoint with defense. It can have countermeasures and also has a great deal of armor. You know, the Hunter can take a good amount of punishment before this thing will blow up. It'll actually take 7 explosive sniper rifle bullets to blow this thing up. I usually like to include a bonus clip in my countdowns, and today it's going to be a bonus vehicle, and this is the Buzzard. This helicopter costs 1.75 million in GT Online from Warstock Cash and Carry, and it's just been a staple of my GT Online sessions forever, for a few very important reasons. First of all, it's got machine guns and unlimited homing missiles, which are useful for a variety of different reasons. And also when you're a CEO, you can spawn this thing pretty much at your feet for free. No other vehicle can be at your disposal that quickly. So for day-to-day usage, getting from A to B, checking on your businesses, you can't really get much better than the Buzzard. I'd imagine most of you guys already own this by now, so I'll move on to the next vehicle, but if you don't, make sure you buy this thing right now. At the number 2 spot is the Akula. You can pick this one up for 3.7 million or 2.7 million if you unlock the trade price from Warstock Cash and Carry. The Akula was added as part of the Doomsday DLC update, and I'll get straight to the point with the best feature of the Akula. Pretty much the only reason you should buy this thing is for the stealth mode. As you'll see in the gameplay example here, my friend is in the Akula, and he makes himself completely disappear off the minimap when he's in this mode. This is how effective this vehicle can be. Stealth mode basically lets you and anyone else inside of the helicopter go completely off the radar and fly around undetected. You can also use certain paint jobs on this vehicle to better hide yourself in the sky. You can make yourself a little bit more camouflage when you're flying around. So basically, don't paint this thing bright pink if you want to be stealthy. The only drawback for the Akula is not being able to use any weapons while in stealth mode. I guess that would be a bit OP, but those are going to be disabled while you're in this mode. But this vehicle can be great for planning a surprise attack or a sneak attack on any other players in the lobby, and it's also very useful for cheeky getaways too. You can fit 4 players in this helicopter and is equipped with a whole host of weaponry. It includes a minigun that can be used by the co-pilot. There's also miniguns that can be used by the pilot. The pilot has also access to missiles with the options of barrage or lock-on missiles. The pilot can also use the bomb bay that can hold up to 50 bombs. The Akula is actually quite resilient, just like the Hunter. It's going to take 6 explosive rifle rounds to disable it and 7 to completely destroy it. And that leaves us with the number 1 must-own air vehicle, which goes to the Pyro. This one is quite expensive. It's going to set you back 4.45 million or 3.35 million at the trade price. The reason it makes it to the number 1 spot is because the Pyro is the best dogfighting plane. Your turning circles are going to completely outperform any of the other planes. The Pyro is extremely fast, and it's just very maneuverable and powerful. The Pyro is a 2-seater fighter jet, and it is the best dogfighting plane. If you guys do want to do dogfighting in GT Online, this is your best option. According to Gillymaster's testing, the Pyro is not only faster than the Hydra, the Rogue, the Starling and the Laser, but it also completely outmaneuvers them. Your turning circles are going to completely outperform the other planes when you're in the sky. For weapons, it comes with standard machine guns, and you can upgrade it to have homing missiles. Unfortunately, the machine guns are not explosive cannons, however they should be enough to take down other planes in your session. And the Pyro isn't only effective at taking down other planes, it's actually really effective at taking down ground targets. It has such great handling, you can make very erratic movements to quickly shoot at ground targets and kind of dive bomb them and then quickly pull up before hitting the ground, so it can be really great for taking out targets on the floor as well. So that was my must-own air vehicles in GTA Online. Let me know down in the comments what theme you guys would like to see next week, if there's another countdown you guys would like to see. If I use your idea, I'll give you credit. Also, don't forget to leave the video a like if you did enjoy, it really helps support my channel, and also subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next video.
Flipping cars, I did the scene. Flipping high shit with the team. You know me, got the antidote. I spit it sick up in Los Santos. Dodging missiles, dodging bullets. Coming at me now, tell me to pull it. I'm a G, DOA, silent core in GTA.